Hey guys, so today I'll be teaching you like how to make your own train crashing train. Like I do have my old pack, but it's less recommended to use preset and already built trains because it's like using somebody else's model. But if you use these model, keep in mind guys to credit me. But if you guys don't want to credit me, then well, you might have to build the train yourself. So we got the chassis and the tracks. You can also borrow the tracks from the pack. You can also build your own tracks if you like. It's heavily recommended to make your own gauge. But anyways, it's going to like start. Like here are some pre-made trains that were already made in the past. And guys, if you use these trains, people sometimes might accuse you of leaked models, and half of it's true. They're not lying. But you can also make your own train with using this chassis and stuff. And these are pre-made trains, like I said, but less recommended to use. But you can also borrow the tracks. Anyways, tutorial. So there are already tips inside in the tutorial. Like you have to build a train. For me, I would make my own gauge. I'll just make it effortless because I just don't want to waste too much time. Anyways, you can either make your own gauge or use a preset train. Let my gauge be this to making sure. So this is my gauge. If you make your own gauge, make sure your rails are anchored. Anyways, like you could do it any style you want. For me, I can just do the normal wheels instead of block wheels. I'm gonna do something real quick, like this way. And so I got myself a track so I don't have to put gliders. And honestly, you guys can have turning bogies if you like. So there is the wheels. That's what I would start with. I would make the bogies and then the chassis. I will create a fake train, like the laziest train, because I just don't want to waste too much time on the tutorial. Anyways, let me pause the video and make my train chassis. So guys, here's my train. It might look ugly, but you guys can model trains yourself. Like you don't have to make the ugly part. You could do the most beautiful part, like adding windows, maybe like transparent or so, with the lines and detail. But here's a tip, guys, real quick. Don't use way too many parts on your trains, otherwise it might lag. For my trains, I keep them lag efficient. Diesels and freight cars have like under 100 parts, but the passenger cars I made has almost over 100 parts, but still less than 150. But I wouldn't even make too many passenger cars. And anyways, if you have this kind of train, you would search up a. Let me actually remove myself. Purification weld. Actually, I'm just gonna search up weld. You find Q Perfection Weld. Why is it named Q Perfection Weld? The coupler has a couple script for you. Like you can make really good trains. And they can also couple up by themselves. Oh my god. Dang. Hold on a minute. Let me update the pack real quick because he wouldn't even have good trains. Sorry for the convenience, guys. Let me also remove shadows. By the way, removing shadow is heavily recommended. It's very heavily recommended if you wanted smoother performances. Even if you have a crash PPC. Luckily I didn't ungroup it yet. I will ungroup it soon. And like, soon when you got your train, you could sometimes cure perfection weld or use B-tools weld. Where's B-tools? Right here? I haven't used Q Perfection Weld in a very long time because I just use B-tools. So I just use Q Perfection Weld. Make sure your train is unanchored. And now let's get to the motor parts. Alright. You guys can also like insert a coupler if you made your own. You could also make your own couplers, not gonna lie, to be honest. Actually, I'm just gonna say to be honest with you. I'll only have the locomotive only. And if you like can put the coupler, it's best to like weld the black socket onto the locomotive instead of the coupler itself because it's more better. Anyways, like these couplers can connect by themselves. And yes. And now we're gonna get to the moving part. Like you see where the hinge is facing? Yes, that's the direction. So, when you're welding your body velocity part, couple scripted train mover, you weld it onto this thing and then name your weld contrast next car. Once you name the next car, you can put it in. Also, tip, you can adjust your train mover speed in case the train is either going too fast or too slow, or not moving at all because it's just too heavy. It actually depends on the weight of your train. And now to the drain breaker part. So you basically put the joint breaker above the rails and you weld it like the brown part to the coupler to the joint breaker and joint breaker. I don't really want to send a track kit with my own gauge like here. But anyways, um, if your trains are all set like this. Oh, shoot. Here's a actual good tip. Here's what you're supposed to do, actually. So, you would want to, make different groups between the base. This is your base. And this is your body. Make sure this stuff that's touching the rails, aka wheels, is not to the base, because otherwise your train crashing script will not work. And so, you'll put, if you want to like really good train crashes, you can have a train crashing script. And like, make sure your other units. Oh, to mention, make sure body velocity part is actually in your base and not in your body. Because we don't want like the train mover still stuck on the train. And here, if people is asking for a tutorial of this, here is your tutorial. If it doesn't work, I'm sorry. But surely it does work. And so, I'm sorry if this video is too long, but it's just worth of making your train crash. You guys can also test on like what the amount of force you need on your locomotive. Because like train mover right here, you can adjust this, add more zeros or remove any zeros. Depending on, it depends on your train. If your train is heavy or not. Like if your train is really heavy, or if your train is really light, there'll be a chance my trains will be very light. Anyways, let me fix this out because it broke apart because I just have to weld some certain parts in so that I can reduce the amount of time in this video. Also guys, here's another pro tip. For like the wheels, it's recommended to make it slippery. Like slap on some friction weight. Like what you will do is custom physical properties. You can make the weight on whatever you like. So friction 0, hold on some friction weight up to 100. And here's your pro tip. And funny enough, I just finished fixing my train. I'm sorry if this video is 90% of yapping because I know lots of people just say that. And here's your train setup. You can build more freight cars or so. It's highly recommended to make your own trains instead of like using a template like this one. Like imagine you have the trains really good like this gauge and people accuse you of leaked models. Well, I don't want them to accuse you. And you did build it yourself, so you could just like tell them you did not. But if you're using the trains for my pack though, it is sadly true. Sorry it lags at first. It just does that for like almost about a minute. Sorry about the joint breaker falling randomly from the sky. And here's your train crash. Here's your very own train crash. It's highly recommended to do bigger speeds so that they can be able to like crash. But anyways, you got yourself a train crash. Oh yeah, one more thing to update to the pack, really quick. Anyways, you can find this pack link in the description and in the pinned comment. And so on. And body velocity part will disable can't touch. You know why? Like in case if it comes off, the train crash script will impact on it and it'll break. With having it off, can't touch having it off, then it could keep. Then you got your very own train crash. Here you go. That's see. Even if you guys don't know modeling, I've been modeling for almost a few years. Going to bad and stink, going to free models to making bad and stinky models to making my very own trains. And if you're guessing, yes, the contests will be randomized in the next video. The train crashing video, actually. And most people voted for winter map, another winter map too. So this time I will try to make it really good. Since it's still winter alright, but sadly there is no snow in Denver, Colorado, like what's going on here. And anyways guys, you got your very own train crash. Anyways, if you find this tutorial helpful, then thanks. Instead of just saying like POV like other YouTubers, If this really helped, you can do like or subscribe. I actually do like and subscribe, but I just stop because I just don't care about like views or subscribers. I care about people's entertainment. And no way I'm still replacing my content with AI slop. But if you just want me saying upload AI slop videos, I have a Sora AI account, Railroad Guy 2012. Let me add anyway guys, thanks for watching this video and see you next time. Bye.